Well, Gary, it's finished up with Town 0, Prescot Cables 0 this evening. First of all, I'm sure you'll be happy with the performance, particularly coming into this one on the back of Saturday's disaster.
Yeah, it couldn't have got any worse, could it? And that's all I asked for. I asked for an improvement, a stark improvement. Not in terms of football, because ultimately it's what you do on the other side of things in this division. And we were so far off that on Saturday. I was quite frustrated in my interview. I know I was, and sort of had to bite my tongue a little bit. But no, I asked for first and foremost to make sure we match whatever they had to throw at us, and they're a physical side. They're really good at what they do, Prescot. They have been for a few years. Really difficult side to play against. They've got a good manager. They all know exactly what they're doing, each individual, and I knew physically in terms of what we needed to do on the other side, out of possession, that we had to match that. And right from the get-go, I could just sense. Obviously, I played today, but looking in front of me, I could sense that we were right on it. You're just hoping that you have that little bit of added quality in the final third, and that's probably what we were lacking in the first half. And I made a point of that in the half time. And the second half sort of followed suit. I didn't want it to drop off in any way. And to be fair to the lads, we done really well. I can't remember them really having too many chances that Shane had to save. And we had a lot of chances, or a good handful of chances, but unfortunately they were all quite from distance, and the keeper was able to parry them away. But in terms of the performance, I'm happy with the point. I'm happy with the clean sheet. It stops the rot of overall in all competitions, three defeats, which has been really hard to take personally, and it stops that at the very least. And that has to be the very least that we do now going into a busy period for us in the next month.
Yeah, and you mentioned about the attacking side of things, and and like you said, getting into those good areas at times, and particularly James Harrison, Donald Chiwalilo, and later what's causing some real problems. But like you said, they're just that final product probably all was missing this evening.
Yeah, it was exactly that, and you repeating the words that I've said at half time and at full time. And no, I just don't want it to be a typical, and I don't want this to sound negative in any way after a half decent performance. I just don't want it to be a flash in the pan, and we've had a decent performance today, and then we come to Hebburn and we come to the league after that, and we end up losing and putting in poor performances again. And that has to be the aim now. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to go into all times as it's been in recent weeks. We really need to use it as momentum now, and take the positives out of what was first of all a decent defensive performance, and take it into further up the pitch, and take it into Hebburn at the weekend.
Yeah, and then the flip side of that defensively, like you said, that clean sheet's a massive positive considering the goals have been leaking recently. But I'm sure for yourself it's been a bit frustrating having to throw yourself in this time for injuries at the back. But it sort of seems a bit no coincidence that when you do play, it seems to be sort of bring a stark improvement defensively.
Yeah, I'm happy to play. I'm still fit. I retired in I think it was March time, wasn't it? And I think I've probably played about 10 games since, so I don't mind that. And if I have to step in and help the team, obviously I'm still registered, which I was happy to do at the beginning of the season. And at this level the squads are relatively small. You've got lads away for all types of reasons, whether they're injured or away with work. You never know what can crop up. And unfortunately we had two lads get injured at the weekend who weren't available today. Probably won't be available for the next couple of weeks at least. So no, I'm happy to play, and I really enjoyed tonight. It was a physical battle against two decent strikers in the end. One who started and one who came on, and I enjoyed that. And I thought the Frankie beside me, who's coming probably 75% fit tonight with a hamstring. I thought he was immense tonight, along with the back four. But there was plenty of good performances, without singling anyone out. And no, as I said, we just need to make sure it's not a flash in the pan, and we can go and back it up.
Yeah, and a bonus, like you referenced there, for Frankie Whelan to come for that unscathed, because ideally I'm sure he wouldn't have played him quite so soon.
No, he wouldn't have played, and if Nels or Guinness was available, he certainly wouldn't have played. But to put in the performance that he did, I thought he was very close with a good handful of others to be man the match tonight. And no, it's pleasing to have him fit or fitish, and I always feel that when Frankie's in the team, you know, we're a much better team. It's just as is the case with a good few of the lads, just getting that run of consistency with them both on a playing level and a fitness level, and if we can get our best players, if you like, you know, out there more often than not, then we'll put ourselves in a good position to really kick on this season.
Yeah, and the man of the match award did eventually go to Adam Geller, another player who really was a standout in that midfield.
Yeah, he'll have been disappointed at the weekend that he was left out, and you know, with the way the game was, and with how he's performed tonight, that's probably that's obviously on me, and a decision that I'll probably look back on in hindsight and think, you know, it was probably a game that Gelly probably should have started. But he's come in tonight alongside Woodsy, and I thought those two were really, really good in there. And you know, when I asked for heart and desire and a little bit of passion and jumping on first and seconds, but not only that, I thought he was very, very good with his football ability tonight to get us playing, and he picked out some good passes and limited his touches, which is you know, it brings out the best in Gelly. So well done to Gelly. You know what I said about consistency within the team, it goes on an individual level as well, and I've told the lads that as well, and that's the most important thing now going into, as I said, Hebburn at the weekend in a competition we want to do well in, and you know, the fixtures after that, where we've got I think we've got an away game at Ashton, and then we've got a group of home games where we need to pick up some points.
Yeah, and just fine looking at that game against Hebburn, obviously fresh in the mind after playing in the league just a few weeks ago, but you know, that afternoon there wasn't really the true reflection of this Whitby Town side. So I'm sure we're hoping to put things right from that one, and more importantly, make sure you go through in a cup competition. I'm sure you'll be keen to do well in.
Definitely, especially we've been out the FA Cup, all important competitions for, you know, not only Whitby Town but every non-league club, and you know, we were disappointed to go out with the FA Cup. Of course we were, but you know, the FA Trophy gives us another opportunity, gives another opportunity to build on the positive stuff we've done tonight, and it gives us an opportunity to have a break from the league, which, you know, is it a good thing, is it a bad thing after tonight? I don't know, but you know, we'll go into it, and I'll pick a strong team. I'll see who's fit, I'll see who's raring to go, and hopefully, you know, touch wood, I don't think there's any knocks or niggles on the back of tonight. I'm sure there'll be a few bumps and bruises, but as far as I know, everyone who played tonight and was available tonight will be available for the weekend.
Gary.
Thank you.